we're here at the CyberScoop Zero Trust Summit with Clarice Kent, the Acting Cyber Technology Officer for U.S. Marine Corps Forces Cyberspace Command. Clarice, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
So the Office of Management and Budget in January outlined a number of strategic initiatives for federal agencies to adopt zero trust cybersecurity standards. Thinking about some of those initiatives, how would you describe your agency's progress in deploying enterprise-wide platforms for identity and access management, as well as multi-factor authentication?
Well, that's a great question. I think at the department level, there's been a conscious effort to adopt enterprise technologies and services. So we see that with the recent signing of the software modernization strategy by the Deputy Secretary of Defense, Dr. Kathleen Hicks, where she really puts an emphasis on making sure that we are going enterprise whenever we can. The obvious reason is for funding, fiscal realities that we can probably realize. But the other part is you don't necessarily need 100 things that do the same thing. For the Marine Corps perspective, for Zero Trust, we recognize that identity is the center of execution. And so we've put a lot of our emphasis there. One of the things that the Marine Corps prides itself on is having one network. What that means is a Marine that goes out for warfighting purposes is using the exact same network that he or she would use if they were back here at Garrison. The only way that that is possible is by having a unified identity strategy. So that's one of the things that we work really hard on. We're also working with our sister service, the Navy, with their naval enterprise identity strategy, where we can be interoperable with them. So whatever we're doing is not just for the Marine Corps. It can be adopted by our Navy counterparts, as well as our DISA counterparts, who also has an enterprise identity strategy, which is called Global Directory.
Great. What challenges are agencies still facing trying to maintain a complete inventory of authorized devices and to ensure their endpoint detection and response tools are properly deployed?
Yeah, so I mean, it just goes back to the basics. You can't defend what you can't see. And so it's very important that you make sure that you have a complete inventory of what's on your network. The reality is these networks existed long ago, so a lot of the hardware is antiquated. So, perhaps maybe you can't take advantage of some of those modern capabilities or solutions that exist. So the first step is to try and update, your hardware. The Marine Corps has an effort, it's called EIM, the Enterprise Infrastructure Modernization, where we're getting rid of the old stuff, trying to put on some new stuff that is IP-based, which allows us to be able to see what's on the network. Once you can see what's on the network, then you can take advantage of some of these EDR tools to be able to either manage the inventory or, to your point, detect and respond to any threats.
So how well equipped are agencies today compared to a couple of years ago to quickly identify and isolate segments of their IT environments that have been compromised?
Sure. So, each year you get better. So I would like to say that we're in a better place today than perhaps maybe we were last year or the year before. There's always room for improvement. So like I said, Rome wasn't built overnight. You want to try and get after these things incrementally by an inch to cinch. And so again, Marine Corps, we're focusing on an effort called Enterprise Infrastructure Modernization, where we're identifying the low-hanging fruit, getting rid of some of that old equipment, putting on some new equipment, and kind of taking it from there.
So looking ahead, how are OMB's zero trust policies altering your agency's longer-term IT investment strategies?
Yeah, so like the old saying goes, put your money where your mouth is. I think these OMB policies and strategies really puts a focus on adopting a good cyber hygiene and strategy. You've got from the Office of the President, the NSM 08, which spells out specifically, thou shalt go to zero trust by this date. And so really it just gives us an opportunity to align our resources with our objectives, specifically with regard to adopting zero trust.